Aloha Gemini, welcome to your tarot reading for the week of April 20th through the 26th. We're going to go ahead and dive right in. If you want a personal reading or if you want to join us over on Patreon, all that information is down in the description box below, but let's get into it. We're going to start with the overall theme or vibe for the week. We'll move into any potential obstacles or challenges, then we'll see how to overcome those challenges, and then we'll get any extra messages that universe might have for you this week. We are going to start with a love oracle and a general oracle just to kick off the overall vibe or theme. So let's go ahead and get into it. What do we got going on in terms of love and emotions for Gemini this week? April 20th through the 26th. You did have a card flip, but it flipped back in. Let's go ahead and shuffle again. We are looking for messages in love and emotions for Gemini. What do we have going on this week for Gemini? April 20th through the 26th. Ooh, we have heart-to-heart conversation. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other. Honestly, you being an air sign, it shouldn't be hard for you to open up and have honest conversations. So if you're having a hard time maybe getting open or honest or having a heart-to-heart conversation with somebody recently, this is that sort of message of snap back into it. Don't be afraid to kind of open up and say what's on your mind. Speak your truth. Say what's on your heart. Maybe some of you have said something in the past and it started a frustrating argument or a discussion, or maybe you were vulnerable in the past and it didn't work out for your benefit and now you have a hard time trusting that you can open up. This card says that this is the week to open up. Have a heart-to-heart conversation. Honestly discuss how you feel about things. I think honesty is going to be your best policy for this week, Gemini. Let's go ahead and see what's happening in terms of general messages to kind of add to the theme. We have author. You have a book that wishes to be expressed. Make the time to write it. Now, here's the thing about the author card as well. This doesn't have to just be writing a book, right? This could also be, let's honestly discuss how we feel about things. Maybe it's through text messages. Maybe we are having a phone conversation. Maybe we are writing poetry, or we are journaling. We are getting all of our thoughts together so that way we can express how we feel. We can express our thoughts and have honest conversation. It seems like communication and conversation is going to be the main theme or the main topic for you this week, Gemini, whether it has to do with love, with friendships, with business, or even just with your spirit team and your spirit guides. Let's go ahead and see what tarot has to add for the theme this week. Look at that, King of Swords, Master of Communications, okay? This is your elemental king, all right? The king cards in the tarot deck, there are 4 of them. There's one for each suit. They are the master of their suit. So this is the master of the sword suit. The sword suit is all about communications, analytics, logics, how we think about things, right? And also how we communicate those thoughts. So this week is all about you being the master of your communications and not being afraid to speak up or ask for a raise or ask for a promotion. Maybe we're telling somebody how we feel. We're laying our heart on the line. Maybe there's a friend that needs to hear the truth and you're ready to say your truth. You also had the 10 of Wands come out for that overall theme in combination with the King of Swords. So not only are you being asked to be the master of your communications this week and say your truth, speak your mind, but for some of you, this is the ending of a season or the ending of a chapter, and it's time to speak up and just say what needs to be said, okay? Whenever we talk about being the master of our communication and just saying what needs to be said, sometimes there is a little bit of a nervousness because we don't want to be too blunt where we hurt somebody's feelings. Find the fine line. Find the fine line between getting it all out and saying what you need to say without tiptoeing around and without beating around the bush, but we don't need to be rude about it either, okay? The 10 of Wands, like I said, you are ending a season here. We're going into a new season. This is also very fitting because this is the first official week of Taurus season. We just ended Aries season, which is fire, which is the Wands. So for some of you, maybe this is a chapter that kind of came to a head and really was ending during Aries season. Now we have this new fresh week of Earth energy where we can kind of close this out, get a little bit more grounded, and just speak our truth. Let's go ahead and see what the potential obstacle or challenge might be for you this week, Gemini. We have the Page of Pentacles in reversal. The same thing came out for Aquarius for their theme. You might be dealing with an Aquarius this week. Maybe you and Aquarius are partnering up for a business as well, because Aquarius had some messages like that. If you have Aquarius in your chart, make sure you're watching that video as well. I highly recommend watching your sun, moon, and rising for a full, complete picture for the week, okay? Either way, the Page of Pentacles in reversal says that there are new opportunities available to you in the very near future, but the only way to be able to gain those pentacles, to plant them in your life, is to get curious about those things. Get curious about what is coming in for your future. When we have chapters or seasons coming to an end in our life, it literally means that there is a new chapter starting. So we can either continue to look at the old chapter and kind of focus on the ending of this one, or we can start to get excited for what's to come in the new chapter and start to get curious about what is opening up for us. What are the new opportunities? What are the new chances? And what direction do we want to head in now that we're kind of closing out this other chapter? There's definitely some sort of conversation that needs to be had this week, Gemini, in order for you to maybe free yourself. I know that was also a message for Aquarius this week too. Let's go ahead and see how we're going to overcome the challenge. The challenge here is getting curious for what's to come. We have Temperance. Temperance is the card of silver lining. Temperance is the card of being able to see things in hindsight. It's very much, she's the alchemist in the tarot deck, okay? So she can turn water into wine. So maybe during this season that you're kind of closing out right now, there was an unfortunate situation where you weren't able to speak your truth. Or maybe you said too much and it got you in trouble. But I think there's this moment that's happening this week for you, Gemini, that something that has happened in the recent past, whether it was this past week or whether it was a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, okay? It's all becoming clear on why it happened, all right? The ending of this chapter is happening for a reason because you're in a much better place now than you were then. The Temperance kind of comes out where it's like, wow, I'm really glad I didn't end up with X, Y, and Z because now I have A, B, and C. I hope that makes sense to you, Gemini. Temperance is here. It's all going to start to make sense. Everything is kind of coming to this aha moment. And maybe there's a heart-to-heart conversation that you need to have with somebody from your past in order for you to get closure and for them to get closure. You don't even necessarily have to meet them face-to-face. You can write a letter. Maybe we're writing a letter this week and we're sending an email. We're physically mailing it, we're texting it, or maybe we're writing the letter and we're burning it just so we can get it out off of our chest, get it out of our space, and finally close that chapter. For some of you, that's what this is. This week is a week of closure, and it might just be something from the past that needs to just be done once and for all. Let's go ahead and see any extra messages that universe and spirit have for you this week, Gemini. I think this week is all about closure. This week is all about ending a chapter or a season in your life and really giving you this opportunity. I swear, I think some of you are dealing with an Aquarius. Aquarius got the same thing for their extra messages this week, the Two of Cups. You know, I think and I'm actually recording Libra after this, so I'm gonna see what Libra gets, if all of you air signs are on the same page or not. But I really feel like a lot of you air signs are in this space this week to be able to free yourself from the previous chapter. You know, for you, Gemini, it's like you gotta say something. We have to get something off of our chest to get the closure. Whether we actually send it to them or we just write it out and burn it, or write it out, rip it up, and flush it down the toilet, whatever it is, get it off your chest this week. Close this chapter once and for all. Get into a place of temperance where it all makes sense. Hindsight is now becoming 2020, and allow yourself to start committing to new things in your life, whether these are new friendships, new communities, new romantic partnerships, new business partnerships, new collaborations. Maybe you're looking to work with people that are in similar industries, okay? This is very much, the Two of Cups is like unions coming together, contractual agreements, okay? Overall this week, Gemini, you are being called into being open, honest, and saying what needs to be said, heart-to-heart conversations. Whether you're writing it down and sending it to them or writing it down and burning it out, you have to just get it off your chest, okay? There is this sort of energy of being the master of your communications this week, allowing yourself to have clean, clear thoughts, and closing this chapter once and for all. Once you can close this chapter, new opportunities and seeds start coming into your life, and it really gives you that moment of everything makes sense now. Maybe why certain things didn't happen the way that you wanted them to in the past, okay? Nice messages here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you're still watching, consider liking this video, subscribe to the channel, join our Ohana. It really helps the channel out a lot, and I just love having all these new friends coming in. If you want to get a personal reading with me, you can always find me at themagicsiren.com. All that information is down in the description below. I will let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again soon. Aloha.